10 most expensive transfers of all time as Grealish makes Premier League history. After a summer of intense speculation, Jack Grealish is now officially the most expensive British footballer of all time after Manchester City splashed out £100 million on the former Aston Villa captain. Pep Guardiola's side were one of the only clubs across the continent wealthy enough to meet Villa's valuation of the 25-year-old, who has been on the books at Villa Park since the age of 6 years old. The Birmingham-born superstar will take the number 10 shirt at his new club, recently vacated by City icon Sergio Aguero. Following confirmation of his move, Grealish could barely contain his delight over the deal, explaining, "I am incredibly happy to have joined Manchester City. City are the best team in the country with a manager considered to be the best in the world. It's a dream come true to be part of this club. Pep coming here has taken them to the next level, and the football this team plays is the most exciting in Europe. To play for Pep and learn from him is going to be special, and it's something any top footballer would want. The facilities are amazing, and I honestly can't wait to get started, meet everyone and get playing." In the midst of Grealish sealing his status as the most expensive British footballer in history, Mirror Sport takes a look at the top 10 most expensive transfers of all time. It is perhaps fitting that someone as divisive as the Brazilian superstar boasts the status of most expensive footballer of all time, given there was such controversy over his price tag at the time. Though Neymar's talent is unquestionable, his decision to up sticks from Barcelona, separating the incredibly successful attacking trio of Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez and Neymar himself, caused quite the stir. However, the La Liga giants were hardly going to turn down a bid worth around €222 million back in 2017. 4 years on, the jury is still out over whether Neymar has justified that price tag given the French giants are yet to win the Champions League, their main goal. Such is the astonishing wealth of Ligue 1 giants Paris Saint-Germain, they boast the top 2 positions in this list, having forked out €180 million on the French youngster just a season after the Neymar deal. Mbappé originally arrived at the Parc des Princes on loan from Monaco before PSG activated their option to purchase the forward on a permanent basis for another eye-watering figure. The 22-year-old has been a revelation since joining, establishing himself as arguably the best young player on the planet, but has recently been touted with a move away from the French capital. Much like the later mentioned Antoine Griezmann, Coutinho was so enticed by the bright lights of Barca he was willing to scupper relations at his former club, Liverpool, in the process. The Brazilian midfielder was a hero among the Anfield faithful before he favored a move away, though his huge transfer fee of £105 million, potentially rising to £142 million if certain clauses are met, helped rejuvenate the entire Liverpool squad. The Reds purchased Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker with the fee from Coutinho and are a much stronger squad as a result, winning both the Premier League and the Champions League since the midfielder departed. Still somehow only just 21 years of age, Felix has been burdened with the weight of expectation for a number of years already. The Portugal international opted to swap boyhood club Benfica for La Liga giants Atletico Madrid in the summer of 2019 for a fee of €126 million, marking not only the most Atletico have ever paid for a player, but also the highest fee Benfica have ever received. 2 years in, the move has already endured significant ups and downs, but with each passing season Felix is showing signs of the kind of form that lead to Diego Simeone's men to fork out so much on the then 19-year-old. He was a valuable part of the Atleti team that won La Liga last season. Of the deals mentioned thus far, Griezmann's stint at Barcelona has undoubtedly gone on to be the worst of the lot, with Barca already planning his potential exit just 2 years in. The Frenchman's move to Barca was one of the longest-running transfer sagas ever seen in La Liga, before he eventually called time on his Atletico Madrid career in favor of a switch to the Camp Nou. Burning his bridges with those in Madrid in the process, Griezmann is on such astonishing wages at Barca. His payslip was one of those highlighted when the Catalan giants were outed for operating over the La Liga wage restrictions. When looking at how many times Barcelona feature in this list, measured against the success of the player signed, it is suddenly not particularly difficult to understand why they are currently in such financial turmoil. Dembele was purchased from Borussia Dortmund after just 1 season with the Bundesliga outfit for a deal that saw Dortmund pocket €105 million in a deal that could further rise by up to another €40 million, depending on variables. Much of the forward's time at the Camp Nou has been littered with spells on the sidelines as a result of persistent injuries, but when fit he has displayed an undeniable talent. After 6 years of dominance in West London in which Hazard established himself as arguably the Premier League's best ever player, he sought 2019 a fitting time to fulfill a boyhood dream and join Spanish giants Real Madrid. Those over at Stamford Bridge received £103 million for the Belgian, who has endured a miserable 2 years over at Los Blancos, where he has failed to recapture the kind of form that made him such a terrifying prospect for defenders in England. Similarly to Dembele, Hazard has seen his stint in Spain curtailed by a number of injuries, with recent reports implying the Real Madrid hierarchy could be willing to cut their losses and offload Hazard for a cut price fee. Will Grealish be a success at Man City? Have your say here. England international Grealish was the subject of interest from a number of Premier League clubs all summer, but due to his staggering transfer fee, Man City always seemed the likeliest destination for the 25-year-old. Given he is yet to kick a ball in City colours, it is impossible to analyse how good the deal is for the reigning Premier League champions. However, the prospect of Grealish lining up in a City side that already includes names such as Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling is a frightening thought for opposition teams and fans alike, which alone could prove to be worth the £100 million transfer fee. At the time, a world record fee, somehow 5 years later the jury is still out on whether Pogba has justified such a price tag at Old Trafford. Those among the Manchester United faithful have grown accustomed to witnessing the Frenchman's talent in flashes, though it is often only present in fleeting moments. Pogba has spent the last few summer windows touted with a move away from Manchester, with Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain the most likely destinations, though United do not expect to recoup the kind of fee they paid Juventus back in 2016. The Welshman has won 4 Champions Leagues, scoring cup final winners in the process, and yet is still hardly a fan favourite at the Santiago Bernabeu. For 5 of his 8 years, Bale was viewed by many as operating in the shadow of fellow Real Madrid superstar Cristiano Ronaldo, but has gone on to bag more than a century of goals in the famous white strip. The 2020-21 campaign saw Bale return to Tottenham on loan for a season, though his homecoming in North London proved to be underwhelming, and he has already confirmed he will not be extending his second Spurs stint. Get your hands on your club's special edition 2021-22 annual. Find out more here.